Hey guys, welcome to the third and final round of the Artosis Supercup 1, where 4 of the best players in the world are doing some round robin. This match is between Mixu and TheOry. Mixu going to be our Finnish Vanguard player, and TheOry our American Infernal player. They're both 1-1 right now, if I'm keeping track of this correctly. And very important because whoever wins here, if Parting loses his match, will be tied. And there will, well, I guess we'll probably go to some sort of playoff. So here we go. We have TheOry in that top right, and we have Mixu in the bottom left. All right. Should be a fun series. Now, talking about their styles, it seems like Mixu is kind of a somewhat straightforward, like kind of macro-esque type of player. Doesn't feel like he is quite as active on the map doing things as, like, for instance, we saw from Azure. And then as far as TheOry goes, definitely seems like he likes a lot of fiend-based play. Like when you're out of position, he'll pop all of his brutes into fiends and go kill your expansion, that type of stuff. So looking forward to seeing how these two match up against each other. Hope that you guys are enjoying this first little foray into making some tournament content, some competitive casts here of this StormGate scene. If you are enjoying, I would appreciate subscribing to the channel and liking it, and you know, leaving a comment on the video, all that stuff. Definitely looking to grow all this and make it a lot bigger and better. So yeah. Anyways, we have the scout going around a very fast command post here at that natural expansion for Mixu. We have TheOry going across the map immediately here with his brute. And, you know, obviously we saw this before. Like when Parting goes across the map with his brutes, the game sometimes ends very, very quickly. Barracks is being made, additional bobs coming down, excuse me, to create that. And a meat farm in a forward position here. This is just kind of like a defensive spot to slow down incoming attacks. A nice little choke. We saw this before from TheOry, I believe, as well, where he double choked. Or a double... I don't know if double choke is the right idea. The two chokes, he basically really turtled them up, you know, while putting some pressure on. Now, the brute trying to get some harassment. Obviously, we already saw the overcharge from the bobs there. Probably a Lancer being made. Scouts aren't going to fare well against a brute. So, yeah, I think he's kind of waiting for that Lancer, just trying to buy time until that's out and can help push that brute back. The brute being microed back and forth, and yeah, there's the Lancer. You will turn around. The brute looking to see if it can get any shots off. Oh, a little bit of miss micro right there. Very well done by Mixu, pulling back. Now, another structure being built. I want to say that's a mech bay, but we'll see in a second here. Generally, you do want to go into hedgehogs very, very quickly. And really good micro here. Dude! The Lancer, I mean, this is ridiculous micro. The Lancer's barely taking any damage here. But the thing is, we've seen the way TheOry likes to play, and he is totally fine with sacrificing some early units to get his economy really up and going. All right, so we do have that mech bay up. And going to be trying, I'm sure, to make some hedgehogs ASAP. Little split from the brute into some fiends. They aren't really going to get too much done there. And he is going to pull back for now. The 3 shrines on the way, you know, is obviously going to give a nice economy here. But yeah, he does have to sacrifice these extra imps to go ahead and turtle up these positions. Very, very important stuff. Now, you know, obviously if the hedgehog comes out and you don't have any static D, there's not a lot you can do. Over time, the hedgehogs will just wear you down. Now, the 2 brutes taking a lot of damage here. Look at this micro, like moving shots. I didn't even know you could do this with Lancers. Really, really well done by Mixu. And he brings up his hedgehog as well. Instantly splits into the fiends, and he's just going to try to kill anything he can here. Again, just spending these early units, TheOry is trying to buy time to get everything up at home that he wants. He wants enough static D that the hedgehogs can't really annoy him, and generally that's going to be a meat farm and double Shroud Stone. You see he has a meat farm there already with those Fell Hogs. He's making a secondary Shroud Stone there, and he's going to want that probably at both of those chokes. You know, otherwise the hedgehogs can just come in and kind of overwhelm what you're doing. Now, there is the second Shroud Stone going down. Oh, nice kill off there. Very, very well done. And he does have the triple shrine. The one thing you got to keep in your mind here, I think, about the way that TheOry is playing this, because again, I like it, but you know, Infernal is kind of like Zerg a bit, where they have to utilize the imps. You have to sacrifice the imp to build the building. So even though he's got those quick 3 shrines, don't forget, like, Mixu right here can non-stop make bobs if that's, you know, if that's what he wants to do. He can just continually make the bobs, and he doesn't have to worry about things like losing the bobs by making any buildings, right? Whereas each building you see here, that was an imp. So that's an imp that's not mining. So it's going to take a little bit to get that economy completely fixed up. Now, this vision camp, this one is controlled by TheOry, and Mixu's just going to take that out. No reason to leave that there. You don't want him to see exactly where you're coming in from. And he's actually going to push again. He's using the Lancers, trying to tank damage with them. And in fact, they do tank quite a bit, just barely get out of there before dying. And looks like he is going to take another base, a third base, up to the north there with those bobs. Very secluded in that area. Sentry post being made. Looks like he actually got rid of the trees over here with that bob. Then he's making that sentry post. I believe that's going to be for a repair-o-matic. And this is going to allow him to get in a different way. He kills off the speed camp, and now that he's killed those trees, he can run in here really quickly and harass a bit. And this is not ready. He's not ready. He throws a meat farm down in the front. That's supposed to get the fell hogs out so that they can actually stall out so the shroud stones can finish. Now, ooh, a little bit of miscontrol right there. But you know what? With these brutes coming up, with that meat farm buying a little bit of time, you know, maybe he's going to be able to get these 2 shroud stones finished and then start to block this a bit more. But it does feel like he's going to have to throw down a little bit more defense than that. As you can see, those hedgehogs getting in, taking it to about half health in a matter of seconds. More units coming up. Don't forget, he's got this speed camp, so he can micro even more efficiently as he gets that speed aura. Of course, it doesn't last for a super long time or anything. And look at this. The hurt hedgehogs come back to get that repair from the repair-o-matic. Really well thought out strategy here from Mixu. Goes up, tries to cancel out anything that he can. And yeah, it looks like gonna have to come up here. TheOry still building up that brute camp. Another one goes down to the shroud stone. Okay, so he has 3 shroud stones there. And we'll see if he's able to to keep this back. The thing is, we know that what TheOry wants to do is get so many brutes that he can pop them all and suddenly have like 1,000,000 fiends. Either surround your units or maybe go for a counterattack, that type of thing. He is taking a 4th base down to the south here. The brutes going down as well. And a couple more iron vaults coming up. So yeah, definitely wants to get that production. Look at that, 4 iron vaults being added in. So he's going to be able to produce a lot of brutes. Maybe we'll see some magmadons mixed in there as well for their stuns. Definitely very useful to have those in there. You know, you get 1 stun off, you might be able to surround with those fiends a bit better. Does get kind of caught here by the hedgehogs, and they will force the splitting of 1 brute into those fiends. The hedgehog's going to kind of regroup here in the center. I didn't catch if that, I think that was a bob that was coming up, but not entirely sure. Gaining up some of that white health right now, and it looks like he is going to go across the map once again. We have quite a few Lancers there hiding in the trees for the time being. Fiends coming down just so quickly, getting into that visioned area of Mixu. Mixu right now, kind of rotating around with those hedgehogs still. And he is going to go ahead and pop them. Now, here's the thing. Those fiends, like, he's got a lot of them, and it's going to take time to kill them. Oh, he brings up the Lancers. That's going to actually help out a lot in killing off quite a few of these. But there you go. There is the flank. That was the big move that TheOry was looking for right there. Gets a gigantic surround on those hedgehogs. That is so many fiends, and he is killing off that 3rd base location right now. Man, the Lancers getting surrounded by these fiends as well. And Mixu is having a hard time taking some damage. Of course, this is a lot of units for TheOry that are ending up falling. It's going ahead, surrounding some more of these Lancers. Looks like, I think he's going to be able to kill off that command post to the north. I'd be pretty surprised if not. The remaining fiends going to come down and start to try to surround. There are some Vulcans in here, but there actually might be too many fiends as more and more come across the map. Gets up here and is going to try to take out some of these bobs as well. Even getting more fiends off of that after an infest. And you know what? The Vulcans they're doing their best to utilize that area of effect damage, but is that going to be enough? Well, I guess so, actually. The Lancer plus the Vulcan plus the fact that you're just kind of losing health on Fiends over time will combine in all the Fiends being cleaned up. But here is the problem. Mixu lost a base there, okay? If you look at it technically, for sure, Mixu has a more complex army. He's bringing some Bobs towards the center. You know, this is... It's like, it's a 4 base versus 2 base, more complex army for our Vanguard player, but I don't think that that's something that TheOry cares about. TheOry really seems to enjoy Mass Brute into Mass Fiend, running around, trying to get the better position and deal damage with those very damageful Fiends very quickly. Now he goes to the center. You can see that the trees are being taken down by Mixu. He actually wants to take the center himself. Mixu's gonna GG. He realizes this is a losing position, and so TheOry is going to be able to take it and be up 1-0 in this best of 3. All right, so going into game number 2 in this best of 3 between Mixu and TheOry. And we're going to be on Broken Crown Hinterlands here. So let's see how this is going to get played. Not maybe quite as easy to set up the defensive position that TheOry had in those previous games. You have to go a little bit further out to get the 2 chokes that protect 3 bases. But maybe he wants to do the same thing. We'll see. So we have TheOry there in the top right, getting his tech up immediately here. And yeah, we have the scout coming across as well. So yeah, let's see what is done differently, right? Like TheOry definitely has this idea of how to play with the mass Fiends. It's definitely working really, really well for him. You know, obviously he lost 2 parting, but has beaten his Vanguard opponents thus far. And we'll see as his Iron Vault finishes. Obviously, he's going to start sending, you know, a Brute across the map. Double Imp comes down on the side. Oh, he starts working on the trees immediately. Now, the Scout will come down and harass a little bit. And obviously, we're going to see... Honestly, I'd like to see that Scout kind of turn around and go back again and make that Brute actually kind of stay and deal with him. I could see that being really, really annoying because, you know, it seems like TheOry, what he wants to do is send his Brute across the map or Brutes across the map, put some pressure on, keep everything over there for his opponent, and then get his expansions up. So there you go. The first one goes down, and he will just go ahead and make this at the top of that ramp, right? That's a meat farm being made defensively. And since he was working on the trees, it looks like he does want to cut through the trees and then utilize the double ramps as defense. Kind of similar to what we saw in that previous game, but it does take a little bit more time because you do have to work through those trees, right? But it seems like a good idea overall from TheOry to still be able to do his double defended position. Now, he actually brought an Imp this time. What is he doing with that Imp, I wonder? The Imp actually turns around. A Shroud Stone going to be going down to try to harass the Luminite mining. Okay, very cool idea here. Now, he has a couple Fiends. The Fiends are losing health over time. The Scout trying to help to defend. Obviously, the Brute can beat that pretty quickly and immediately starts a Sentry Post. Goes after the Sentry Post, but a huge surround there with the Bobs overcharged. Really good move. Oh my God, the Brute somehow gets out of there. A Lancer going to go after it. And honestly, he's got to get that Sentry Post up. Gets a Sentry Post going once again. And will get this Brute to split into the Fiends. So the Fiends chasing this Scout back, but still overcharged here. The Bob's going to be able to repair that up a little bit. He goes after the Sentry Post. Some very aggressive play going down by TheOry right now. And look at this. He brings up a meat farm. A meat farm going to be able to build super, super fast and be super annoying to deal with as well. So Buzzsaw Cannon comes out. He's trying to repair the Shroud Stone, targeting down Bobs as he can. And with this Brute coming up here and helping to defend, he's going after those Bobs. And yeah, this is looking really bad right now for Mixu. He is in some serious trouble. So yeah, the Bellhog even hitting that as well. I guess he knows the full range of what that meat farm can do. TheOry executing a ridiculously strong rush here while expanding, no less. The Bobs fighting against this meat farm. They will knock it out, and if he can get rid of those fiends, then there won't really be the vision. Obviously, we see this Fell Hog still there without his meat farm fighting, and he needs those imps to go down. This is so much damage. Those Shroud Stones really, really annoying, and you can see the Lancer coming up trying to clear, and we're just going to see this steady progression of brutes across the map. You keep the brute alive, you're getting the hits on those Luminite miners, and then you just split it into fiends if you need. And by the time those fiends go down, we're very, very likely to see another brute across the map. So it feels to me right now, looking at this, like TheOry has a gigantic lead after this opener. Like, this looks very, very strong indeed. He has his third shrine going up already. Keeps this brute here. He's just denying mining. So it's like 1 base against 2, and it's going to be 1 base against 3. Like, that's, if he doesn't deal with this, it'll be 1 base against 3. And then how do you come back from that? I don't think that you do. The Shroud Stones really damaging that Lancer. Doesn't feel, I don't have like a great thing that he can do either. It's like, maybe you make a command post out of range of the Shroud Stones to try to push back specifically these brutes. Like, maybe that's the play, but the thing is, he doesn't have an XO, so he can only make, you know, the weaker, lower ranged, you know, command sentry post, rather, you know, like the Buzzsaw Cannon doesn't have that great of range or anything. Very tough. Now, he does force the popping of the brute, but his Lancer is going to end up falling. The overcharge making these Bobs quite a bit stronger for now, but he's just going to go ahead, mine some Therium with him. You may as well just get something out of him right now, because he's definitely not getting Luminite up here. Now, finally, we have a Hedgehog. The Hedgehog, or Hedgehogs, plural, as he gets him out, will be able to overtime deal with this, which is incredibly important. He's losing some Bobs here, unfortunately. More Fiends coming up. Yeah, in fact, he even turned that X-Brute into Fiends to be able to come up here and deal damage more quickly, more efficiently. And he's even going to get another one. Mixu's just going to GG. Kind of an overwhelming victory here from TheOry. So he's going to be awaiting that winner of Parting's match to see if he has a shot to win this tournament. GG.